and you decide to go throw your bottle or can in the trash, or before you get distracted by that ice cream, you gotta say, ice cream's gotta wait, I got some recycling to do. That was so terrible, it was funny.
Oh yeah.
Did you want this little,
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Edward, what did you think?
I like the topic. It related to everyone because everyone is able to recycle, so I thought that was a choice. The alliteration he used in the beginning of the speech was a good way to start off and get our attention, and it flowed really well. The introduction was well thought out. It laid out what he was going to talk about, and then when he explained the way he used the 5 W's and the H, I thought that was a really good method to persuade us and help us to know how to recycle. Some of those things that I guess he could work on is, he cited the sources at the very end, but I thought it would help if he cited right after he said something so that we would know where exactly he got that from. And maybe his tone could be a little more louder, but overall it was a good speech.
All right, the introduction I think needs to be a little bit more controlled. The reference to the commercial's okay. The visualizations, though, that you have are a little awkward. The thesis, when you present it, it makes it sound like it's an informative speech rather than a persuasive speech. Toward the end, though, you are talking about and advocating recycling, so I don't think that in the long run it's an informative speech, but early on it sounds like that's what you're setting us up for. Let me describe to you what recycling is all about. And at one point you're going through that process describing what the recycling assembly line would be like, or the what do they call that, all the stuff's on the belt where they're selecting the material out, and you've got describing all the different magnets and things like that, and I'm going, why is this a part of the speech? Because it doesn't advance the argument for recycling, it just talks about what the process is. So that's stuff that could come out of the speech. I'd agree with Edward about the citations. You'd want to be consistent about citing the material as you're presenting it. I would disagree about citing it afterwards. One of the things that is hard to figure out is where quoted material starts when you cite it afterwards. It's much easier if you say, according to this website, blah, 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 blah. We know at the end of the citation, that's where your quoted material starts, and we can distinguish between what's your argument and what somebody else's claim is based on that kind of citation. We don't get that either of those kinds of things, though, in your speech, because we just get information being cited at the end. You can find most of this information online at these two sites, and I don't think that that's a very effective way of presenting the information in the speech. The presentation issues, sometimes you're really kind of self-aware. You are talking to the audience. It's like you're mugging for the audience a little bit, putting on a little extra show. The 5 and 1 numbers and the crisscrossing. You look like you're somebody on American Idol. Dial number 6 here at the end, that kind of thing. And I think that just looks a little awkward. And the acting out about, I'm on my way to the recycler, and oh, ice cream, that's got my attention there. And it just seems stream of consciousness, cutesy kind of stuff, and it needs to be, I think, a little bit more planned, a little bit more focused. You just seem to be meandering sometimes on the subject. The topic is fine. You've got some good data in the presentation. There's not a lot of emotional pull in the subject matter. Some things about the delivery are fine. Like I said, you did seem pretty involved with your gestures, but your eye contact is very weak at this point. You're still doing a lot of reading. You've got the podium pulled up so that you can have the notes there off to the side, and then you end up taking them off of the podium and then holding them in your hand anyway, so that's a little bit distracting. It just seems like you're very self-aware of what's going on and what the problems are as you're speaking. I'm probably telling you stuff that you probably recognize. Yeah. All right. Thank you.